somebody's girlfriend or something who's sort of along for the ride. But there are very few, and I'm sort of proud to pitch myself and say the Freak Show Deluxe is one of them, that there are a lot of women in our show who have very specific, they're in charge of what happens. They're not being told what to do. What we find most audiences prefer a male talker necessarily, but the women still control their own acts. Also, Freak Show Deluxe has a lot of Hispanics, Pacific Islander, Samoan, Native American performers in it, and I've actually seen, but I can only think of one show off the top of my head that I've ever seen anyone of African descent, assuming they are, but a black performer in. One out of the mess of them that are out there. Now, I forgot to set my timer too. You're going to have to let me know I'm rambling over. Okay, thank you. Let's see. So my focus on the paper has actually become about the business, because the business is surrounded by an even more significant amount of folk. When you look at Jim Rose's book, Freak Like Me, he talks about how much money they're bringing in and doing all this sort of thing. But Jan T. Gregor's book, Circus of the Scars, which is told from Jan, and I hope I pronounced that correctly, was the road manager for the Jim Rose Circus sideshow when it was on its first tour, going through Lollapalooza and stuff, talks about, and Ward Hall talks about it when he talks about all the great things that he has produced and the shows he's put out and all the shows he's had on the road. Phrases keep coming up like, I was broke. There was no money. It's, everybody's poor. In modern sideshow performers, and modern sideshow performers, I think for the most part, are driven as weirdo white people, who feel disenfranchised by regular society. The embracement of like, well, we're all kind of freaks. Let me show you what makes me special on the stage. Among a lot of them, there is sort of this delusion that there's money to be had. Been in entertainment for a lot of years, folks. There's really not a lot of money there. I mean, you can make a big chunk of change in a short amount of time, but by the time you cover your expenses and stuff, it starts going away. The need is, as Emmy said earlier, if I may call you Emmy, in her presentation of the need for reinvention, the need to keep up with modern technology and stuff is of significant importance. And what you find is a lot of people embracing, and I found in my paper, a lot of people embracing that romantic illusion shown in Freaks in the FX TV show Freak Show, even on when the FX channel was showing, it was the AMC TV show Freak Show, which was set at Todd Ray's Venice Beach Freak Show, that really trying to push of like, look at this amazing story behind this person who comes here. The reality for the people working it is, it's your job. That's what you go and do. And even for Freak Show Deluxe that hires people with physical anomalies certainly whenever it can. The first time I approached, here's my story. The first time I approached one of our performers, we were at the 999 Eyes. I met Ricky J there. People were like, you guys need to meet, this sort of thing. And there was an LP, a little person there. Good looking guy. Like my girlfriend actually noticed it first. She's like, check out that good looking guy. And so I pulled aside his friend and I said, hey, do you think your friend would be interested in talking to me, because I run the show. Now, my experiences prior, like I met this guy who was 8 foot tall one time, and I, was like, hey, you can make some money and do some stuff, and I flat out turned down, no way, no how. I don't want people looking at me because I'm tall. And I think that's entirely understandable. You don't want to be looked at for the wrong reasons at the same time, something else expressed by everything on this panel. So I approached this young man, Scott Smith, and I said, hey, are you interested in doing stuff? Because I found out through the conversation with his friend, he was a professor of literature at UCLA. And I said, hey, I've got this show, you live right here, do you think we could do some stuff? He's like, I don't want people looking at me because I'm short. And I'm like, oh, no. You have to work with us. I need a talker. I need a lecturer. The fact that you're short, that's just handy. I'm more interested that you're good looking and that you can talk and people can understand you. And we worked, and then we began working together after that, and things have really sort of taken off for him since in his performance aspect. He said it was really something he had never been interested in. Now his story is he had grown up, his parents and his family never addressed the fact that he was a little person, ever. He has like 4 older sisters. Never that he was expected to just behave as everybody else. He didn't go to his first LP convention until he was in his 20s. And he said at the end of the day, his neck hurt from looking down all day for the first time in his entire life. So